Good evening. This is a meeting of the Township Committee. The notice July 21st, 2014. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Two-River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on January 10, 2014. Committeeman Fiore.
Here.
Committeeman Massell.
Here.
Committeeman Sharpenberger.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sedembrino.
Here.
Mayor Murray. Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence on the troops serving worldwide defending our freedoms, constitutions, and way of life. Thank you. Our first item on tonight's agenda is to give the administration of the oath of office to our new police officers. At this time, I'd like to invite Patrick Leonard and his family to please come forward with Police Chief Robert Oakes. At this time, I'd like to invite William Casey Roquel to please come forward with his family. Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite Michael Heaton to please come forward. I'd like to invite Stephanie Geisel to please come forward, and your family. At this time, I'd like to invite Jess B. Toma to please come forward.
Middletown Township police officer, according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
At this time, I'd like to invite Erica Weeks and her family to please come forward.
majority of people resort partially unjustly on all of the reasons. We don't start with Middletown Township police officer. According to the best of my ability. So I'll be back.
Tonight we're beginning 7 new careers here at Middletown. Not everybody's beginning tonight because we have several of these officers who already been trained, so they'll be going into our field. But a lot of law enforcement experience here tonight. We have some second and third generation policemen here. Just going to talk a little bit about each officer and then we'll move on here. Officer Patrick Leonard is born and raised in Hazlet. He resides in Freehold right now. He's a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, military police. He served as a corporal from 2004 to 2010 during Operation Iraqi Freedom. And he currently worked, well, up until today, in the Monmouth County Sheriff's Department. He no longer works there. And before that, he actually was a dispatcher over in Hazlet, where his dad was a policeman for 25 years. He graduated from the Monmouth County Police Academy. He also serves as a member of the Police Auxiliary in Hazlet. And his dad's here tonight. He helped pin his badge on. Congratulations, Kevin. The next officer we hired tonight is William Casey Rodewall. He was born and raised in Belmar. He's a current resident of Asbury Park. Graduated from Richard Stockton College. Very good. And he's got a bachelor's degree in science and criminal justice. His parents, Bill and Judy, we saw them, came here tonight. Officer Mike Heaton came to us from the Park Police, right? Mike? Mike is already trained as a police officer. He's going to go into our field training program. And he served with the New Jersey Park Police. He graduated from Brookdale College with associates in arts and business administration. And he's a graduate of the Ocean County Police Academy. And he's here with his wife. Where's Mrs. Heaton? There she is. Congratulations. Our next candidate is Stephanie Geisel. Stephanie was born in North Carolina but raised in Aberdeen, so she's a Monmouth County person. She currently resides in Homedale. She worked part-time as a police officer in Seabright, Highlands, Keyport, and Freehold. You can just take a look around the room. We have some police officers in the room with opposite uniforms. We got Captain Schriefer in the back. We got Chief Mayon from West Long Branch. And we also have an officer here from Howell Township, Michael Steve. So, Stephanie served in those places. She's a graduate of Brookdale, where she got her associates. She went to Keene, and she got a Bachelor of Science in Accounting, and then she's gone on and she's got her graduate degree in Master of Science in Accounting. And she also went to the Police Academy as a special officer in 1998. Stephanie. Laura Stranero is the daughter of our Lieutenant Bill Stranero. Laura's 23 years old. She was born and raised in Middletown. She attended Brookdale. She's a certified medical assistant. And her mom was also a resident, or an employee of the township too. So we're looking for a long career in the Stranero family here. Officer Jess B. Toma. Jess came to us from Hightstown. He was already a police officer in our FTO program. He's third generation. You saw his dad up here, who's a retired Essex County Prosecutor's Officer, and his dad, who's a retired detective in the Newark Police Department. How long have you retired?
God, a lot of years.
Longer than that.
40 some years.
Oh, geez, longer than that. Okay, Jess was born in Norway, but he was raised right here in Middletown, and he still resides here. And we saw his lovely wife here attending his badge on. Right? He attended Brookdale. He received an associate's. He also went to New Jersey City University. He received his bachelor's degree in criminal justice and professional security, and is currently working towards his graduate degree in national security and cybersecurity. And he's also a graduate of the Union County Police Academy, which is the John Stanley Police Academy. Congratulations, Jess. Our next candidate, Erica Weeks, was born in Edison, raised in Aberdeen, and she's worked in the security of the law enforcement field for the last 6 years. She worked for Jersey Shore Medical Center as a security officer, spent 3 years in Freehold Township Police Department as a public safety associate, and she's working towards her master's degree right now. We saw her mom and dad here without our badges. So tonight they begin 25 years, some don't have 25 years to go, but most of them do. But none of this is possible without the support of the governing body. The mayor and the committee and the administrator have been 100% behind the police department here since I've been here. That's more than 40 years. So they believe in a strong public safety presence in Middletown. I mean, we have 42 square miles and 67,000 plus residents. And they're always making sure that we provide a safe community for our residents. It's the #1 priority in this town. So I want to thank them for that, and I also want to give these people a big hand tonight for beginning their career.
At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll begin again with the agenda. Okay, we'd like to resume the meeting. At this time, we have recognition of firefighter William Kennelly Sr. of Lincroft Fire Company for 50 years of dedicated service. At this time, I'd like to invite firefighter William Kennelly Sr. to please come forward with Middletown Fire Chief Peter Lyman.
Things they do, yeah.
So, what we're going to do now is award the city to Bill Kennelly for his 50 years of service to the township, keeping us safe for the last 50 years. This is one of the highest, actually, it is the highest honor that we get out of the town. So, it's my pleasure and my honor to present this to you. So I'm just going to read the proclamation to you. And you had a day after you won July 13th. Whereas William Kennelly Sr. joined the Lincroft Fire Company on September 19, 1964. He rose through the ranks and served as Lincroft Fire Company captain in 1973 and and in 1974. And William then took on the role of Middletown Fire Company president from 1990 through 1992 and 2000 through 2001. And William has been an active member of the Middletown Fire Police since 2000. And William is an integral part of the township's firefighting community. He has donated thousands of hours over the last 50 years to help keep Middletown citizenry safe. And whereas the Middletown Township Committee wishes to join the members of the Lincoln Fire Company in honoring William Kennelly Sr. for 50 years of dedicated service to the Lincoln Fire Company, the Middletown Fire Department, and to the Middletown Township. Now I, Mayor Stephanie C. Murray, and the Middletown Township Committee, do hereby proclaim Sunday, July 13th as William Kennelly Sr. Day in Middletown Township. It is an honor and a privilege that you choose to call Middletown your home, and thank you for your attention.
It really is. All right, gentlemen, we have room. Okay, now we're ready. Thank you.
At this time, we have a presentation of life-saving award to DPW employee Arthur Watkins. At this time, I'd like to invite Arthur Watkins, please come forward.
My boss.
Art did something very special a few weeks back. He saved the life of a coworker. And, you know, you see people every day and they go about their business doing whatever they have to do, but it's only when somebody does something truly exceptional like what Art did by saving the life of one of his coworkers that you really see what people are made of. And I'm really happy and proud, we're all really happy that you did that, and I'm very proud of you. So it's our honor to give you this life-saving award.
Thank you very much.
There it is. We'll have a set of smiles just in case. Thank you so much.
Oh, Mr. O'Brien, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, at this time, we have recognition of the emergency responder honored by 200 Club. At this time, I'd like to invite Fire Chief Peter Lyman with Middletown firefighters, Chief John Isaacson, Russell Mount III, Marcelo Aguirre, John Matacha Jr., and Matthew Dykeman on behalf of Fred Dykeman. Please come forward.
Before I turn it over to our chiefs, I just wanted to tell everybody what the 200 Club is in Long County. It's an organization of business leaders and civic leaders who are dedicated to the support of law enforcement, EMS, and fire and their family. So these are pretty prestigious awards, and we've been lucky this year to have 7 of the honorees coming from Middletown. So we're just super proud of these guys, and we'll let you go first.
Okay, on March 10, 2014, firefighter EMT John Matacha Jr. witnessed fellow firefighter and Department Secretary Philip Felice experience a serious medical episode at the conclusion of the monthly department visits meeting. Firefighter Matacha summoned the assistance of ex-fire chief and EMT John Isaacson, fire captain EMT Russell Mount III, firefighter paramedic Marcelo Aguirre, and firefighter Fred Dykeman. During the treatment from his fellow firefighters, firefighter Felice stopped breathing and went to cardiac arrest. The firefighters immediately implemented CPR and prepared to utilize an AED. All 5 firefighters working as a team administered life-saving measures that eventually revived firefighter Felice, who was transported to Riverview Medical Center and made a full recovery. As a result of these 5 firefighters' quick and professional actions, the life of Middletown Township's oldest active firefighter was saved.
Russell Mount. Dykeman for Fred Dykeman. And John Matacha Jr.
Oh, it's on. To the side, that's it. Thank you.
Also, in recognition of the emergency responders honored by the 200 Club, if we could invite Police Chief Robert Oakes to please come forward with Middletown Police Officer Frank Mazza and Middletown Police Officer Stephen Keller.
Tonight, we're here to recognize 2 of our officers, 2 separate occasions, 2 different incidents. One is for a Valor Award. Officer Frank Mazza on March 6th this year responded with additional officers to a call concerning a violent suicidal subject that was potentially going to harm himself. They found the subject in the basement. He was armed with a knife. He was ordered to drop the knife, but he retreated into the basement. Frank took immediate action. As he did, there was a struggle that ensued as the young man turned around, and as Frank was trying to bring him to the ground, Frank sustained stab wounds to his right rear shoulder, and finally got the guy to the ground and got him handcuffed. And Frank suffered some stab wounds, some stitches, but obviously he was able to back to work the next day. Tough guy here. United States Marine. On the merit side, we have Officer Stephen Keller, got a life-saving award. A 58-year-old woman had a seizure. When he arrived at the scene, he found she was not breathing. He immediately put her in a position where he could administer chest compressions and breaths, and used a bag valve mask. And the woman started to breathe a little bit. He had to continue to work at it. And finally, after about the third try, he got a faint pulse, and she came back to life, so to speak. And she began to be able to breathe on her own. He set up her oxygen, no breather mask, and monitored her pulse until the medics arrived, and she was transported to the hospital. For those of you who don't know, the 200 Club is an organization of businessmen and local prominent citizens in the county. It's a 200 Club in Monmouth County. Usually each county's got its own. It was started in, I believe, Detroit, the city of Detroit, in the mid-50s or early 60s. And it was to support public safety and other worthy causes. And what they do each year is they recognize certain people that have done extraordinary things throughout the year with a luncheon. And I was fortunate to attend it with our honorees and the mayor and the Deputy Chief Squeeze and Deputy Chief Weber. And that was on June 6th at the Sprinkling Country Club. So it's a very nice affair, it's a very nice group, and it's nice that they honor our firefighters, first aid people, and our police officers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have the administration of the approval of minutes of March 3rd, 2014, executive session, March 3rd, 2014, workshop meeting, April 7th, 2014, executive session, April 7th, 2014, workshop session, April 21st, 2014, executive session, and April 21st, 2014, regular meeting. Committeeman Fury.
Yes.
Committeeman South.
Yes.
Committeeman Sharpenberg.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Murray. Yes. Motion carries to approve the minutes. Our next item on tonight's agenda is the public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance is 2014-3110, an ordinance establishing mandatory direct deposit.
Anyone wishing to speak to 2014-3110, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public wishing to speak to this ordinance, I will move to close the portion.
Committeeman Fury.
Yes.
Committeeman Massoud.
Yes.
Committeeman Sharpenberger.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Murray. Yes. Motion carries to adopt this ordinance on second and final hearing. Our next ordinance, 2014-3112, an ordinance amending solid waste and recycling fees for mulch loading and delivery services.
Is there anyone wishing to address 2014-3112? Seeing no members of the public wishing to address 2014-3112, I move to close public portion.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes, brief comment.
Committeeman Masell,
Yes.
Committeeman Sharpenberger,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Murray.
Yes. Committeeman Fury?
Thank you, Mayor. I think this is a great idea, another service that we can provide for the residents of Middletown, hopefully in lieu of having to actually pay for the massive amounts of wood chips and mulch that we have at Canes Lane. But one of the things I would like to ask the administrator to do is, thoughts about this, being that we're going to have to, whatever we don't, deliver or use, we're going to have to potentially pay to unload. We should really be talking to other municipalities, smaller municipalities around us, as to if their DPW would like us to maybe send some loads that they can offer their residents to come for a pickup. Not saying that that's going to happen, but worth the chance for especially the towns around us don't have as many trees, maybe much smaller. Might be something that even if we give it to them for free, that they can offer their residents, it's a cost that we don't have to pay to dispose of it. So I just have to do that. Thank you.
At this time, we have a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 14-198 through 14-208, including bingo and raffle applications and volunteer firefighter applications.
Can I ask the mayor to the clerk to pull out resolution number, where did it go? 202 for separate vote, and I think
So the consent agenda would include resolutions 14-198 through 14-208, removing 14-201, including bingo and raffles and volunteer firefighter applications.
202.
I'm sorry, 14-202.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes.
Committeeman Masell,
Yes.
Committeeman Sharpenberger,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt consent agenda. At this time, we have resolution 14-197, a resolution authorizing payment of bills for July 21st, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes.
Committeeman Masell,
Yes.
Committeeman Sharpenberger,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 14-197. At this time, we have resolution 14-202, a resolution authorizing and certifying compensated absence payment upon retirement of James Dudek.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore,
Yes, with comment.
Committeeman Masell,
Yes.
Committeeman Sharpenberger,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino,
Yes.
Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 14-202.
Yes.
Yeah, comment?
Yes.
Thank you. I vote yes again, just to show consistency as I did in the last one. I vote yes to this, not because I particularly want to, but particularly because this governing body has to certify the compensated amount that the CFO is given. For this, I do believe, Mr. Dudek is has been a fine employee, a nice enough man, and obviously this, my statements again, as they were last time, have nothing to do to reflect upon him, but to reflect upon a system that continues to be broken, continues to need a hard dollar cap. I do, since the last meeting, there's been lots of chatter. There has been legislation that has been resubmitted and proposed by our own Senator Curlos, co-sponsored by Senator Sweeney, which I completely believe is a common sense approach, and I completely endorse since that meeting, which would cap unused sick and vacation time at $15,000 for new employees, and would also freeze anybody at the current levels that they currently are, because this is a system that is just absolutely broken. It's a system that may have worked 20 years ago, doesn't work today, and without change, we are headed down a very bad path of fiscal accounting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Township Committee comments.
Maybe if you want to ball rolling?
Sure, I'm on a roll. Thank you, Mayor. Just a few comments this evening, one of which I had the pleasure of attending the Ideal Beach Community Day, which is the 5th annual Community Day this year, which was held in a very special location and one that I think should be held for more township functions, which is the new and improved Ideal Beach. First of all, a thank you to a great community group in the Ideal Beach Community Association and those who member here in the public. Was always here, they always have members here, seeing what the governing body's doing. But just a great organization, a lot of people, a great venue, and let me tell you, if you haven't been to Ideal Beach to see what a fantastic job has been done post-Sandy with the beach replenishment, you really should take a look. It really is a true hidden gem, and this will definitely has and will continue to enhance the Ideal Beach community and neighborhood. And while there's still a heck of a lot of work to do post-Sandy, I can say that the highest degree, certainly that as we see the rebuilds, that is definitely a stronger, more viable beach and solution for any future storm. So I thank all those involved, the administration, the Congress people, everybody who has helped get that done. What a great beach and what a great asset to this community that I think we really need to showcase more going forward. Secondly, just one other quick brief comment this evening. Mayor, I'll save it for you, but a lot of work with the veterans and Veterans Affairs, and tonight I think there's a pretty neat thing that when I was mayor was discussed to me, and an idea brought to me by the Veterans Affairs Committee, Mr. Garrison, who's in attendance tonight, which I unfortunately, upon implementation, we got hit with that aforementioned storm and kind of delayed the process a little bit. So, it's just something that I think I know the mayor will speak more about, but just happy to lend my support to. And, finally, just as a warm welcome to all the new police officers. What a great, as the chief said, it's our goal to keep this town as safe as possible. We take pride in being the safest community per capita in the entire state, if not the entire country. And finally, Mr. Kennelly, what a great example of a real community servant and a great community spirit. So congratulations, Mr. Kennelly, on his 50th year as a volunteer here in Middletown. I'm pleased to give him the key to city on behalf of the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Committee himself.
Just echo Commander Fury's comments on swearing in police officers. I think it's a great day, and I wish him a warm welcome. Just want to reiterate my comments from the last meeting about the 350, what an awesome event that was, and I have more to say about it, but it was a great day and just an honor to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Schreckenberger?
Okay. I'm going to also echo what a great achievement it is to have a 50-year volunteer in our midst. Tony Fiore and I had the good fortune to attend a celebration at the firehouse where he spent many of his 50 years, I think, if not all. And you look around the room and you see a lot of the other volunteers and you wonder, there could be another couple of 50-year veterans coming up behind him, but he certainly set the standard. He and his wife are just, salt of the earth, and it was really an honor to be among them. And I think he showed us how to do it, and he set a pretty high standard for all of us. I also want to point out that, this is a little bit of inside baseball, but some of the drivers that really drive costs up for the town are sort of unsexy things like workman's comp and all this, that is really very complex, but it really has a tremendous effect. And we got a report recently that our claims compared to last year are way down, and that's the direct result of the efforts of folks like Jim Van Ness, our assistant administrator, and Cindy Benziano. We're really working hard on wellness campaigns and to try and keep liability complaints and all sorts of workman's comp as low as possible. And really, the proof is in the pudding. And those are the kind of things that really make a big difference money-wise to us if we can cut back on those kind of costs. Because the township gets nothing for it, and if we can avoid it, it really helps in a lot of ways. The MAC also came out with a report. They had over 67,000 people at the magnificent facility up there. It really is one of the most popular draws in town. And it's good to see the numbers going up each year and more people find out about it and utilize it. It really is a great facility. We should be very, very proud of it. Tomorrow, I think, Mayor, is it today and tomorrow or tomorrow and Wednesday for the cemetery cleanup?
Today is tomorrow.
Started today and going into tomorrow. At the Crystal Stream Cemetery, we have the Community Affairs Council has been doing this around town, and they utilize inmate labor from the county, and they're cleaning the cemetery up, and it really is has a long storied history, so it's good to see another one of our cemeteries going to be brought back to the state it should be. As was mentioned too, the large payouts got a lot of press. A lot of folks, who don't normally follow things, were all in tune. Hey, what's going on? I read something in the paper. And when you explain really what this is and how little how little power the town has over these sort of payouts, it really is infuriating. So, as Committeeman Fiore said, we wish Senators Carrillo and Sweeney all luck in the world in getting this bill passed. It's sorely needed, it's way overdue, and it's something that we really, really need in the state. And finally, I just want to say, does anybody remember the song Taxman by the Beatles? Well, I wish they would stop playing, because I think it just gives the Democrats more ideas on things to tax. There's a line that says, if you drive your car, it'll tax the street. Well, there's actually a congressman out in Oregon who's proposing to tax you by every mile that you drive. Now think about it. Think about what it'll do to our township here, our budget, if we had to pay a tax on every mile that the police cars drove. It's ridiculous, and it's scary that this is even being proposed. But I hope people rise up and really, let their voices be heard if it gets any kind of traction, because it'll destroy. Imagine some guy going to work and having to pay a tax each mile, the privilege of going to work and paying taxes on what he makes. Scary stuff. With that, I'm going to stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. So I want to continue on Dr. Scharfenberger's comments with regard to the things that the township is doing to continue to stabilize taxes. So I had the opportunity this past Friday to attend a ribbon cutting ceremony for a new business in town. It's in Advanced Auto Parts next to the Applebee's. And frankly, when I went, I thought there'd be a few people there, no problem, a couple minutes to be done. There were 50 people there. All of the emergency responders were there, the fire department was there, and frankly, these types of additional businesses not only fill the stores in Middletown, but as you know or don't know, as the commercial rateable base increases, it shifts the burden from the residential tax ratables to the commercial rateable base, and it strengthens the town, and we continue to see more businesses opening in town. So it was a great thing. It was a national company, staffed by local people. In addition to that, they made a $1,000 donation, which is their MO for opening new stores to a local charity. So that was a great event. Secondly, when I heard about the 50 years of service, my parents just celebrated their 50th year wedding anniversary. I'm not 50, so they've been at it for longer than I've been around. It's a long time. It's a long time to dedicate that time and commitment to a township, and it's things. It's volunteerism that people don't need to do, but they want to do, and that's what tonight's events were about. Tonight's events were about dedication and heroism, and whether it's the 7 new police officers or it's the life-saving events by our DPW. These are things not that people are paid to do, but they want to do, and they do have the goodness in their heart, and we're glad and proud to have them in the Township of Middletown. So with that, Mayor, thank you very much.
Deputy Mayor, I have to say I echo your comments as well as everyone else's comments up here, and that's one of the perils of going last. Everybody kind of says what you want to say, but I think what you said was perfect, and I could have said it better myself. regarding our volunteers. And I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to the police officers myself. I'm particularly pleased to see 3 women, so I think that's great, and I welcome them and everyone else. I'd just like to talk about the veterans for a moment. I had the opportunity to go visit the VFW. I see Tom Garrison back there. And the VA has deployed a mobile counseling center, the vet van, and it's at the VFW every Thursday, I believe indefinitely, as long as it's needed. The VA did deploy 20 across the country, and we're fortunate enough to have one in Middletown every Thursday. And they are dedicated to counseling the veterans and their families. And in that vein, also, Committeeman Fiore mentioned it. I think, Ted, you have a sample of a street sign. We'll be rolling out these street signs. Again, this was a very long, it was a long process. Tom Garrison and our Veterans Affairs Committee has finally brought this to fruition, working with DPW and the Township. I believe we have 25 so far, and we'll be rolling these out and trying to get a lot of them out by Veterans Day. But that list will grow as we discover more people. And as Ted showed you, that it will have their name and the conflict and killed in action. So we're glad that we're able to do this for our fallen heroes. With that, I'm going to open up to public comment. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak? Leah.
Good evening, everyone. Leo Christopher, 121 Cranberry Court, Middletown. I have here the latest independent, and it'll not on, pronounce the writer's name. It's on the first page in the right-hand column. He gives some statistics, and I think you would like to point out that I did learn to do arithmetic. I had trouble in mathematics, and but I did some addition, and I came up with a figure that the payouts for unused sick leave for 5 successive years, 2010 to 2014, was $2,440,000, so $2,500,000, and some of that, if there were a $15,000 cap payout, that probably would be a savings of, I suspect, over $2 million. I would not go, were I the governor of this state, I would not go to zero and suffer the Pyrrhic victory of getting a veto through, but losing for the taxpayers $500,000. So perhaps someone in Beckman, O'Scanlan, and others might prevail upon their partisan party government to sign if they get a bill through the Senate. I also like to point out, make a comment, that I raised this in Tinton Falls. The volunteer fire departments in some townships are having trouble getting volunteers to come forward. I know I see signs up in Tinton Falls, and Councilor Brian Nelson could probably apprise you of the numbers that they have to deal with over there. I don't know what they are anymore. I just see signs, we need help, volunteer for the fire department. And so there's a movement afoot to go to paid fire departments. Since it's in the newspapers, I'm probably not telling you anything, but I would like to suggest that maybe you should give the total pay package with benefits of all sorts of the total employees in the Middletown Police Department and then compare what the fire department, whether in Middletown you have 109, I heard, volunteer fire people. If some of them are, I think the drivers are fully salaried or something like that. They're not, no salaries. So it's just lop or whatever, that's all they get. Would they, there needs to be a comparison. It's just numbers, and the taxpayers are owed information so that they can vote intelligently, and not out of ignorance. We're kept in the dark about too many things. Sometimes it's our fault, we don't seek the information, but sometimes it's not made public. Perhaps this governing body consider how much, with their experience, were they experienced and certified and trained professionally trained fire department rather than volunteers, trained volunteers. What if they were fully paid? How much would they be saving as volunteers? It'd be 3 million, 6 million, 8 million, 10 million. These people are saving us a lot of bucks. A lot of bucks. And I don't know what the information is, but I asked this question over at Chinton Falls, 4 or 5 years ago, and there was some number thrown out, $3 million.
So if Mayor, if I may, and I think your buzzer was there, the buzzer was going off, but the figure is not very difficult to find. I mean, obviously salaries and benefits, it would be several millions of dollars depending on how many employees you hire, but the amount that we pay for their very small retirement incentive program is about $350,000 a year, I believe we budget, if that's correct, Colleen, somewhere about in the neighborhood of those staff is probably in the 350 range.
Yeah.
That also counts the EMS, I believe, so that's EMS and volunteer firemen. So 350, a few of the chiefs or so may get an additional stipend for their time. So it's a significant savings. I mean, we're probably, it's probably $3 or $4 million just off the top of my head, if not more. So between the paid and volunteer.
In Middletown.
Mm-hmm. So
They said that much over in.
I mean, look, it depends.
Are you counting the accumulated unused sick leave?
I'm just counting salary and
Benefit? Oh, just not without benefits. Oh, okay. I would hope the number would be larger.
It could well be, but I can tell you that what we spend on volunteers, and it's fractional.
You seem to be a state of doubting, not having.
Not doubting you.
Well, you don't seem to be confident in your numbers. So why don't you just suggest in an executive?
Well, I can't be confident in numbers. I wouldn't know if we need 50 firefighters or 100. We have 100 police officers, so if we did 100 firefighters, we spend $20 million in police salaries out there are, but make them comparable. There you go. There's your number. So
the reality is it's an academic exercise.
Right.
Because first of all, you have to do an analysis of how many firehouses you need. We don't need 11. We've got 11 now. We don't need 11. We don't need 11 fire companies. We've got 11 now. We don't need hundreds of firemen. We have hundreds now. They're volunteers. But there's no question that it would be millions and millions of dollars that we don't have to spend now. Exactly how many millions? Impossible to say right now. And there's no sense in analyzing it because we have no desire to even consider the option. There's no need to. We don't have an issue with shortage of firemen here. Clinton Falls may, we don't. So it's really not an issue for us. Our volunteer fire companies are healthy and stable and happy with doing what they're doing, and we're happy to have a relationship with them. So that's all we need to know.
I see by the clock on the wall I have a minute left. And so I'd like to reserve the balance of my time until I come to the microphone again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leo.
Please accept my proposal that you make a study of what a fully paid fire department would amount to and publicize it and repeat it year after year after year. Thank you very much.
Is there any other member? Yes.
Good evening. I'm Heather Close, 34 Pine Street, Middletown. And I just want to echo the accolades to our firefighters, our police chief, our volunteers, the EMS. They have done tremendous service in Middletown for decades. I've been in town for 30 years. Our firehouse has been there since day one. They've always been gracious, kind, available. Our little firehouse, first aid squad is around the corner. I think every village is very happy to have their volunteers. I think we honor them and respect them. And I would actually quiver to see what the budget would be to have to pay for a full rural fire department. I guess it's something the township needs to put into perspective if it ever happened. But I'm once again just very grateful for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Good evening, my name is Don Watson, on Collinson Drive. And Mr. Sharpenberg made a comment before about street taxes. If you think about it, we already have street taxes and the gasoline tax. The federal government is charging 18 cents a gallon to pay for the streets. So it's already in place. And speaking of streets, I noticed over on Van Brunt Avenue in North Middletown section that the storm drains over there like No, it's in Middletown. Van Brunt's on the other side of Kingsburg High School, but it's in Middletown.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, that's what they told me, you guys said to them. But they are in Middletown, they pay taxes in Middletown. Their garbage is picked up by Middletown.
There is a neighborhood over there, I just don't know if that's one of the streets.
Right, check out the corner, there's two storm drains on the corner of Raritan and Van Brunt. That seem to be settling. Also, the streets are very narrow over there, so the trucks and buses are cutting across people's properties and stuff. And they have them like Roman curbs that extend out into the concrete, extends out into the street a little bit, not regular curbs. And they're getting all busted up and broken. I think there'd be some help over there. Glad to see Kevin's parents are still at it for 50 years, wishing 50 more. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to make a comment? Yes, sir.
My name is Bruce Stanford, Raynor Avenue, Fort Monmouth. Ed, this is probably for you. You probably don't know most about this. Last Monday night, about 8 o'clock, I attempted to get back to my house, 2 feet of water. Couldn't get to my house. Checked out the valve on Wilson Avenue, it was failing. It wasn't working. For the first time since the valve has been installed, I see 3 lights. One for open, one for closed, one for fault. I tried to implement your procedure and it failed. That valve was not attended to until approximately 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. High tide at Sandy Hook was 10:20 p.m. Monday night. Next high tide was 10:56 a.m. Tuesday morning. That valve was not attended to until approximately 8:05 a.m. Tuesday morning by Jerry. I had a police officer at my side at 1 o'clock in the morning at that valve. He told me he was going to call dispatch based on the procedure that you gave for you to be contacted. I stayed awake all night, called dispatch to patient guy that I am, I waited till 3 a.m. to call dispatch. They never got the message. Dispatch told me at that point in time, since they didn't get the message and it wasn't on record, that they would call you. I believe you received the call about 3:15. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Between 3:15 and 8 a.m., I was awake and out there all night. The water receded a little bit, only because it went down the sewer drains. Okay. I just was wondering, what's the new procedure now when that valve fails?
Well, the procedure is still called the police department, like it did. What you know already is what we talked about, is that it was vandalized, that control panel there, and someone messed around.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Well-
Because I didn't see any vandalism done up there.
Well, you said all three lights were.
The
Somebody.
lights are there for a reason.
Right,
Open, close, fall.
right. And all three can't be on. 'cause it can't be
I've
on.
never seen them on. All three, I've never seen them on at the same time. It's either open, closed. I've never even seen the fault light lit, ever. We got a guy now that's a maintenance contract on that valve that lives in Pennsylvania.
No, we don't have a maintenance contract on that. We don't. We call a firm in and fix it if it's a problem.
From
It's not,
Pennsylvania.
it's not a contract. The firm isn't Pennsylvania. I'm not sure where he lives.
The only reason I'm questioning you on this is the last time that valve failed, it took 5 weeks to get it fixed.
Well, right, we mandated a couple of times.
No, you didn't.
We did.
I know you didn't, because I followed up on that. The one guy that was supposed to be manning it was sick that day. We won't mention any names, but one guy that was supposed to be manning it was on vacation.
Well, again, he's allowed to take vacation, somebody else
I
is probably assigned to it first. I'll talk to you in more detail about that.
I talked to the people that told me that nobody was assigned to it, other than the people that were either sick and or on leave, vacation.
Well, again.
Because I personally checked it, I go over there, so I know. There's 2 tides per 24-hour period, one every 12 hours. That means it needs to be manned. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it needs to be manned at 2 o'clock in the morning. If a guy is on vacation, he's not coming back from vacation at 2 o'clock in the morning to man that valve, either open or closed. You just told me it's taken care of.
It is, we have more than one guy that can do that.
I only know of one that's been told that he can touch that valve.
Why don't we talk about this?
You know better than me.
Yeah, but you're going to details here, I'll talk to you.
Listen, why don't we stay, we'll talk about it,
Okay.
okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public who'd like to make a public comment? Seeing no other members of the public wishing to make a comment, I move to close public portion and adjourn.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Mansell. Committeeman Sharpenberger.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Murray. Yes, motion carries to adjourn.